In this module, we will be learning that if we are given a data set and we have an objective and we want to observe that how we can analyze the data and interpret our results. Before we start, we need to know one thing, that whenever we report our data set, firstly, we try to report the descriptive statistical analysis. And when we talk about descriptive statistics analysis, we talked about graphs, measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion, or measures of relationship. It all depends on the nature of the variable as well as the type and their level of measurements of each variable, which will help us to determine that which specific descriptive statistic methodology we're going to use. So let's learn from our data on ulcer recurrence. In ulcer recurrence data, as we know, we are given with a variable age, duration, treatment, time, and result. The result is defined as ulcer detected and no ulcer detected, whereas the treatment variable is having two categories, tree A and B, where A represents allocation of treatment A and B represents allocation of treatment B, whereas we are also given the age. Using this data, let's say our goal is to report age, which is a quantitative variable. And we want to see how age and results, whether ulcer detected or no ulcer detected, has any specific kind of distribution of age within it. We will report it using descriptive statistical analysis. One thing we need to consider is that whenever we have a categorical variable, the type of analysis that we usually perform and the way we report is by just reporting the number of the observation and the percentages. Hence, we want to look at the output of the variable result. The results are either ulcer detected or no ulcer detected. Since it's a categorical variable, the most appropriate way to report this result is reporting the number of observation along with the percentage of observation. And if we want to report the graphs for it, we will report either the bar chart or the pie chart. To get this output, we will go to descriptive statistics, frequencies, and bring our variable of interest in. In statistic, we can click on the type of statistics we may need. For a categorical variable, we do not need any of the measures of central tendency. We do not need to calculate the distribution. We do not need to calculate the measure of dispersion or any of the percentile values. But we'll simply go to the charts, where we can click on the bar chart and the percentages and continue. And do not forget that display frequency table is checked. Simply press OK. This data shows that in our data, there are 32 individuals, which make it 74.4% of our data had no ulcer detected, whereas 11 individuals, which make up 25.6% of the data, has ulcer detected. And that's what you can see clearly from the bar chart of percentages, where the percentage of the ulcer detected, no ulcer detected, is much higher than the percentage of ulcer detected. Similarly, one can also report a quantitative variable in the data. For the quantitative variable, one way is that we simply go to the frequencies and click on all the options. The other is to look at the explore. Here we want to see that how age is distributed among the various categories of the results. Since we know age is a quantitative variable, hence it is in the dependent list, and factor list will always be a categorical variable, because many software they use a term factor to explain a categorical variable. Here, if you want to see how the distribution of age is across the various levels of results, to do this, age is in the dependent list, and since we are looking across the various levels of result, we bring results into the factor list. With click on statistic, we want descriptive statistic. In the plots, if we want, we can calculate stem and leaf plot, histogram, and normality plots with test. When we are performing descriptive statistic analysis, it is very important to talk about the normality plots with test, because it helps us to know that if the data is symmetric, because many of the descriptive statistical analysis methodologies are determined separately for symmetric data and for skewed data. Because we have already learned that if the data is symmetric, we report arithmetic mean along with the standard deviation as a measure of dispersion. Whereas if the data is not symmetric, it's skewed, then the most appropriate measure to report is median along with the interquartile range, or sometimes we report Q1 and Q3, or simply the minimum and maximum value. Hence, we click on all these options and press continue and press OK. This will give us an output where we are given age in years across the categories of the results when the first category was no ulcer detected and ulcer detected. This data shows that the age of respondents, the average age of respondents was 51.81 years for no ulcer detected group, whereas for ulcer detected group it is 48.55 years on average. But there's also median given. We need to decide if we should report mean or median. And this decision depends upon that whether the data is symmetric or not. To observe if data is symmetric or not, we look at the coefficient of skewness. If the coefficient of skewness gives us a value exactly equals to 0, we will classify this data to be symmetric. But if this value is not equals to 0, it will be skewed. Right now, this value is less than 0, which indicates that the data is negatively skewed. Hence, we can say for the group no ulcer detected, the average age or the age variable is negatively skewed variable. Hence, for the negatively skewed data, the appropriate measure of central tendency is not the mean, but it is the median. Whereas median value is 54 years, which shows that 50% of the individuals in the no ulcer detected group had their age less than or equal to 54 years. Similarly, for the no ulcer detected group. In no ulcer detected group, we are given the mean, we are given the median. And we can see here that mean is greater than median. If mean is greater than median, it gives us one hint that the data is most likely to be positively skewed data. Moreover, we can look at the coefficient of skewness. The coefficient of skewness is greater than 0, which means the data is positively skewed. And the age is positively skewed in ulcer detected group. Hence, again, if the data is positively skewed, mean is not going to be a good measure. Then we will report median along with it. Hence, the average age of the individual in ulcer detected group is 47, which means that 50% of the individual in the ulcer detected group has age 47 or less. And when we try to report this data, we will report median and interquartile range or minimum or maximum value, and same goes with the other group with no ulcer detected. We will report median with interquartile range, as an interquartile range will be measure of dispersion and median will be measure of central tendency in both the cases. Thank you.